as long as you understand whether it is positive or it is odd or even. Number 2 is the locus will start from from this side. So number 1 is this one. So we said that the root locus will start from the pole. So this is the pole, and we said that the locus will lie to the left of the odd number of the poles. So it lies to the left of the odd number of the poles, and similarly it is at the right of the even number of the zeros also. So it is clear. Number third one is again. So this is complete. Now again the another you see another branch. So another branch, you see a number, you see 0 is coming, but we said that the locus will start from the pole. So the pole is at number 4, this position. So at this position 4 is E1, and we say that the locus will exist to the right of the even number of the poles. So we say that the pole exists to the right of the even number of the poles, and then it will go, the end point will be 0. So it goes to the 0, and since the 0 is known, is finished, so it will finish over this one also. So you see the number of the branches again is equal to the maximum of the number of zeros or poles, so which are 2, so the number of branches is equal to 2. So this one was also straightforward. So we have this information, the two informations. Now the related to this one, start in locus on the real axis. Remember, this is for the negative feedback system. So, and this is for when k is greater than 0, means when k is positive. But what will happen if k is negative, or you can say the positive feedback system? When k is negative number or less than 0, when k is less than 0, then we will take the reciprocal of this one, the opposite of this one. Then we will say that the locus, if we have the odd number of poles, it will be at the right of the odd number of poles. And if we have the similarly, the locus will be the left of the even number of the poles for k less than 0. So we can also write this one for k less than 0. When k is negative value, then what will happen? Then we say that locus will exist to the right of a number of poles zeros. Number 2, locus will exist to the left of even number of poles are zeros. So this should be clear. Should not mix up this also. We can also have some example related to this one. Let's say that we have what? Let's say that we have this example k, where we have the transfer function, which is equal to, let's say this, we have no zeros, so -1 divided by, we have s over s plus 2 and s plus 4. So you see that here the gain is equal to what? Minus, it is less than 1. So now we will use this definition of the what is called for the root locus. We will use this one. So if you will place the poles, so we have one pole at s is equal to 0, another one at s is equal to -2, and the third one is at s is equal to -4, -4, -2, and we have one pole at s is equal to 0. So from where the root locus will start, you see 1, 2, 3, and then we say that the locus will start from the odd number of the from this side, and now since the gain is negative value, so we say that the locus will exist to the right of the odd number of poles. So this is to the right of the odd number will start, and then it will end at 0 at infinity, because the zeros are not finite in this system. Similarly, the locus will start from the you see from this pole and also from this pole. So it will start from this pole, and this will also start from this pole, and then they meet at some point, and then they meet at some point, and it will go to the zeros at infinity, because the zeros are not known. So it will rise into the complex plane. And similarly, the blue one, it will also the green one, it will go into the complex plane as the value of the k will increase. Anyhow, this example, you see, this is a rough sketch. The first thing, from this example, we try to understand the number of branches again is equal to the maximum of the number of the zeros and poles. So in this case, the number of the poles are 3, so the number of branches are equal to 3. See, we have 1, we have 2, and then we have 3. We have 3 branches. Now, since the value of the k is less than 0, which is a negative value, then we use this locus definition, that the locus will be at the right of the odd number of the poles and the left of the even number of poles. So you see, this is odd number of the pole, the first one, and the locus exists to the right. And this is even, so the locus exists to the left. If you will increase the above one, let's say this t is equal to 1 divided by s plus 2 and s plus 4, which is the previous one. And if we are interested to plot the root locus of this one, so this is again, you see, this is a 1 pole, this is a pole at -2, and this is -4, and this is 0. So again, this is 1, 2, and 3. Now in this case, k is greater than 0. So we use the first definition, and we say that in the first definition, the locus will exist to the right of the odd number of points. So this is to the right, and similarly to the left of the to the left of the odd number of poles and to the right of the even number of poles. So they meet at some point, and then one go into this direction and another go into this direction, and then for this one again, this is odd, then to the left of the odd number of poles. So you see, the locus changes, root locus changes completely when you will change the gain of the system. So in this one, you see, this is the root locus, and in this one the root locus changes. So you should know this one. You have to observe the value of the k also when you are plotting the root locus. Also in this plot and the below plot, we say that these are the rough sketches. So this is not the actual direction of the, you see, this one, this is not the actual direction of the root locus, and this one is also not the actual direction of the root locus. So how to plot the actual direction of the root locus? So we will use that one by using the asymptotic information. So what are the asymptotic information? Straight lines. Okay, let me take a break over here and then come back to the class. Let me continue. I think I should continue. Okay, I'm going to continue. So let us use this one also. Number 5 is the asymptotes. So asymptotes are straight line which are tangent to the curve at some point. So straight lines to a curve. So it's a tangent to a curve, or you can also say arc at some point. Suppose that you have an arc like this, and then you see at the infinite, this value, you say that this is this tangent line. This tangent line is called the asymptote. So you see this tangent line, this rises as a straight line. So these are the straight line, and it what is called, it is tangent to some line at the infinite. This is because you will see that in some cases the poles, that they will start with some lines like this one. Suppose if we have the this one, let us for example that we have this one. This is the what is called the direction of the root locus, and let's say that what is the asymptotes. This rises with some asymptotes, and actually it rises according to this one. You see that we say that the locus that started with something, and it will follow the straight line, and it will be which is actually the asymptote, and the locus which started with this what is called the pole, with this pole, started in such a way that it will be tangent to the straight line, which are called the asymptotes. So this straight line is called the asymptotes, and we have to learn that how to accurately plot the root locus and how to find this location. You see, this is the location of the interaction of the different lines. You see, this is one line, this is another line, so we have three lines, three branches over here. So this is the point of intersection, and the another one is the, you see, the angle. So the angle, so actually it will give you the location of this line in the 2D dimension. So the point of intersection will be given by the formula which is given which is called del A, which is equal to what? Summation of the values of finite poles minus summation of values of finite zeros, and then total divided by this divided by what? N minus m, where n is the number of the poles and m is the number of the zeros. So this will give you the what is called the location. The location where the straight lines will intersect with each other on the real axis. Number 2 is as I told you over here that the second one is this angle. So it will give you the location, this point. See, this is the del A in this case. So this is del A, and this one is what? Theta A. So we are also interested in theta A. So theta A will be equal to 2k plus 1 pi divided by n minus m, where k is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to what? N minus m minus 1. Please note this one. This is the case of when we have the what is called the number of the poles are greater than the number of the zeros. Otherwise, you can take the absolute value of n minus m. So whichever is greater, so you can consider that one. So this will give you the angle. Suppose if we have two poles and one zero. Suppose if we have two poles and zeros, we have 0. Then you can easily say that what is the value of k. So the value of k will be equal to 2 minus 0 minus 1. So this value upper value will be equal to what? 2 minus 1, which is equal to 1. So which means that k will have a value equal to 0 and 1. Similarly, if you will consider the what is called 3 poles, so this will be 3 minus 1, so which will be equal to 2. So k will be equal to 0, 1 and 2. So I think this is straightforward and easy, so we should not confuse with that one. For example, let us consider the this example. Let's say that we have this T of S, which is equal to S plus 2 divided by S plus 3, and then we have S plus 4. Let us consider these examples. So let us first draw the rough sketch, and then we try to correct this one. Okay, so for rough sketch, now let us first draw the rough sketch, just to let you know that why the asymptotes are actually important. So if you will draw the rough sketch, so we have what? We have a 0 at -2, then we have a pole at 0, and then we have a pole at -3, and then we have a pole at -4. So we have the pole information and we have the zeros information, and that's it. And then we start counting 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And then we say that the root locus will start from the pole and end at the 0. So you see that it start from here and end at 0, and we say that the locus exists to the left of the odd number of the poles, or we can also say that it exists to the right of even number of poles are 0. So both are satisfied, both what's called definitions. And then we have this pole and this pole. So this is odd, so the pole will root locus will be at the left, and this is even, so the root locus will be at the right, and they will meet at this point. So you see, this is direction, this is direction. And then we say that after this point, you see, if you will further increase the value of the gain k, so this will move into the complex plane, which is this one. So this will move into the complex plane, but as I said earlier that this is the rough sketch, so this will not give you the accurate direction of the root locus. Now the question is how to draw the accurate direction of the root locus. So let us now use the asymptotic information which is given by this one and this one. So let us find the point of the intersection. So if you will find the point of the intersection, it is given by delta A. So the values of the poles are equal to, you see in this formula we have the values of the finite poles minus the sum of the values of the finite zeros divided by n minus m. So if you will use that information, so this will be equal to what? 0 minus 3 minus 4. So these are the poles minus what is called the sum of the zeros. So this is the 0 divided by n minus m. So n is 3, which are the number of the poles, minus the number of the zeros is equal to 1. So if you will find this one, so delta A will be equal to minus 2.5. Now this is clear. This is clear. Also, let's say that this means that the point of intersection will be equal to minus 2.5. Now, how you see the asymptote will not, which is called, is not only the point of intersection but also the angle. What should be the angle? You see this angle, so that it completely describes the straight line. So the angle information will be given by theta A, which is equal to 2k plus 1, and then we have pi divided by n minus m. Now the k will be equal to what? 0. Remember, it will go to n minus m minus 1, which will be equal to what? N is equal to 3 minus 1 minus 1, so 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. So it is equal to 0 and 1. So you see that when k is equal to 0, then it will be equal to what? Pi by 2, because n minus n will be equal to 2. So this is equal to 2. 3 minus 1 will become equal to 2. So this will be when k is equal to 0, then delta A will become equal to pi by 2, and when k is equal to 1, then theta A will become equal to 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, so this will become 3 pi by 2. Now we find this the directions as well as the intersecting point, and let us plot the what is called this one again. So now let us correct this one. So how we will draw the correct one? So we will use the green color for the correction. So what is the point of intersection? That is what is called minus 2.5. So at this location minus 2.5, the asymptote, which is a straight line, will rise. And what is the angle? The first angle is what? Pi by 2, and the second one is 3 pi by 2. So pi by 2 is this one. You see, this is pi by 2. So this is what? Pi by 2. Sorry, pi by 2. And what is 3 pi by 2? This is 3 pi by 2. You see, this is 3 pi by 2. This angle is 3 pi by 2. So we found that it should be what? it should be this should be the straight line. So the asymptote will the root locus will rise such that it will be tangent to this line. See, the asymptote is tangent to some curve. So this will the locus will rise such that it will be tangent to this straight line at the infinity. So let me correct this line now. So we first what is called, it is corrected because it is the locus on the real axis, and then it started from here and then here, and at some point it go into the what is called imaginary axis, and this one also go into the imaginary axis. So the first one will go like this, and then it will be what is called tangent to the asymptote at the infinity, and the second one will be symmetric, because now the concept of symmetric can be used over here. You see, the same one, the mirror image, and then it will be what is called tangent to the straight line at the infinite. So now it is straightforward that how the root locus will look like. So if you will redraw this one, then you can see that redrawing this one, so we have one over here, and then we have the 2. This is the point of intersection, so it will go like this, and then we draw the root locus, which is this one. One locus will be on the real axis from the poles to 0, and then this and this will rise and then go into the complex plane and go what is called as a curve, and then it will be tangent to the this line. So we easily draw the root locus. We study the complete behavior. We know the complete behavior of the system if you will increase the value of the k, because the system will remain to be stable. We have 3 branches because the number of the poles are 3, which is maximum compared to the number of zeros. One is this one is this one, and one is this one. We also see that this branch that rise from the poles toward the 0, and then these 2 branches they rise from the poles, and then they will meet at the 0 at infinity, because here the zeros are at infinite, which are not finite, or which are not given over here. So if not given, this means that the zeros will be at the infinity. So anyhow, in this exercise we learn one more thing, is this point, that at which point they will move into the complex plane, and these points are called the breakaway point. And similarly, if we have the zeros, then this will come back to the real axis. So what should be the break end point? So these are called the break out and break end point. So the first one is what? Breakaway, and then we have the break end point. So breakaway is the point where the 2 loci, you see 2 branches, they meet and go into the complex plane. And break end means that they will come back, the 2 locus will come back into the real axis, from the complex plane. So that is called the break end point. So they are the breakaway and the break end point. Remember that we can find the breakout and break end point by using the relation which is given by 1 over alpha minus zi in summation r what I equal to 1 to m, which is so we alpha plus zi, sorry. So we replace s with alpha, because we say that you see s is the complex, so we have the alpha plus minus j omega, you can say. So we say that we are interested in this real axis point, because the breakout point we will find the value on the real axis where the locus will enter into the complex plane. Similarly, the break-in point, when the point on the real axis, which is alpha, where the locus will come into the real axis. So that is why this we replace the s by alpha. So this will be equal to what? I equal to 1 to n 1 over alpha plus pi. So if we use this relationship, then we can easily find the break in and the breakout point. Let us use this in the previous example. Let us use this in the new example. Let's say that we have what? Let's say that we have the transfer function, which is represented with s minus 3, s minus 5 divided by s plus 1, and then we have s plus 2. If you plot this one, let us use the complex plane. So this is the, okay, so this is 3 and 5. So let's say this is the complex plane. So we have one pole at minus 1, another pole is at where? At minus 2. Similarly, we have 1 0 at s is equal to plus 3, and the another 0 is at what? This is minus 5, so is at 5. We have two poles and two zeros. So now let us see this one. So we say that the two locus there will come, they will, you see, we have to 1 2 then 3 then 4. So you see, so the locus will start from the pole, so it will start from the first pole, and then we say that the locus exists to the left of the what is called the odd number of the poles, and similarly this is the even number of poles, and we say that the locus exists to the right of the even number of poles, and then it meet at some point and go into the complex plane. You see, go into the complex plane. Now how it will come back to this one, you see, because the locus here the zeros are finite, so it needs to come back to this point. So we need to find this point, which is called the break away point, and we need some point over here which is called the break end point. So it will come back to the real axis, and then the locus will end at the 0. So we can find this one by using the relationship that we earlier said that this should be equal to 1 over alpha plus zi, which is equal to summation of 1 over alpha plus pi. So the zeros are 1 over what? S minus 3, s minus 5, which is equal to the poles are, sorry, these are summation, so please rectify this one. The summation of each what is called root, summation of each root. So this will be equal to alpha plus alpha minus 3, because we have to replace s with alpha, and then we have a plus 1 over s which is replaced with alpha, alpha minus 5 minus 5, and now this is equal to 1 over alpha plus 1 plus 1 over alpha plus 2. And now we have to simplify this one. So after simplification, when you simplify this one, so you will get 11 alpha square plus 26 alpha minus 61, which is equal to 0. And when you simplify this one, then alpha will become equal to what? Minus 1.45, and the second one is 3.816. So this means that this is the break away point, because it lies between this minus 1 and minus 2. So this is the break away point. So at which point this will break? It will break at minus 1.45. So this will break at where? Minus 1.45. So this point is where? Minus 1.45, and it go into the complex axis. So it go into the complex axis, and what is the break-in point? The break-in point is 3.816, which lies between here somewhere. This is what? 3.816. So it go into the complex plane somewhere, and sorry, this one, it is this one. Goes into the complex plane and then come back to the real axis. Similarly, this will be symmetrical, go into the complex plane and come back into the real axis. And when it comes to the real axis, so one pole it will go toward this 0, and another pole it will come to this 0. Okay, we will continue this one after some time. Take me a break, and then we will continue with some other plots also. So see you again. It's not finished over here. Thank you very much for your attention. Allah Hafiz.